Tall. That guy always plays, isn't it, on Broadway?
Yeah.
Let's hope he goes away, because sometimes he just parks up here
Yeah.
and beats up loud.
Sometimes I always, when I'm coming, I always hear that he's playing the drums.
Yeah,
and
he's the same guy, I think.
the same guy, yeah?
Tall the budget.
We'll just wait for him.
That's typical Southall.
Yeah, that's a
Typical Southall, yeah.
Please put your hands together for Suleman Raza.
Mr. Raja Raza.
राजा सुलेमान रजा
राजा सलमान रजा ने
सुलेमान रजा ने कहा है कि
Suleman Raza.
I always feel the best time to take risk is a time when you have nothing to lose.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Suleman.
Salam, brother.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you for coming on our show, and appreciate you taking your time out to come onto our podcast. And we're going to have a great conversation. So first of all, I want to get straight into it. I saw a picture on Instagram with you and King Charles. How did you meet King Charles?
I get this question asked a lot of the times. There's a long history behind meeting the Prince Charles at the time. Obviously now he's king. So a few years ago I joined British Asian Trust, which is the King Charles is the patron-in-chief of that charity. So when I joined that charity, there are some annual dinners which you attend. And as being part of that charity, you get invitations to such events. And that picture was one of those events where I attended and had the privilege of meeting the King Charles.
So you also got knighted, I believe, correct?
Yes. So I was very fortunate to be awarded the Member of British Empire by our late Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh, so that was by the Queen?
By the Queen, yes.
Okay.
So that was services to business and a bit of philanthropic work, which we have been doing for so many years now. And in fact, this was the last time the Queen announced these awards. That was in June 2022, and sadly she passed away in September.
Oh.
So probably this was the only last time anyone got knighted by the Queen.
Okay, so how did someone become an MBE then? Was it through your charity work?
Not necessarily. There are people out there who are doing some great work, and not necessarily in charity. Whichever field they are working in, if they're excelling, they are doing better than the others. People from all sectors, literally from the government to the private sector to the business community to the charitable works, foreign office workers, politicians, everyone can get awarded for this. But when it comes to me, I've always believed in supporting people who are literally around us. As a Muslim, our first opportunity, our first duty is to support people who are around us, who we can see, rather than people who are abroad, as we are now living in this country, earning in this country. So I always thought it's a kind of an obligation for me to support local people around us. So to some extent, some of the philanthropic work helped, but on the other side, the business side of things, during COVID, we came up with the idea of drive-through service.
I think I saw that online.
Yeah, so that was very incredible. It went viral on social media.
Yeah.
And pretty much as soon as we started, the entire mainstream media got attracted to it because it was so unique. No one in the history of UK has ever done it before. And now you can see so many drive-thrus coming up. But at that time, we were the first ones to initiate it. And it did really, really well. Like when other restaurants were struggling to survive, we were thriving throughout the COVID time because we started at the right time. So, and then, like I said, I have been an advocate for Pakistani cuisine. I've been promoting it wherever I've been going. There are restaurants who are promoting their brands or especially the foods under Indian identity or maybe a South Asian identity, which I always get frustrated. So a lot of my time has gone into promoting the Pakistani cuisine and have been creating awareness to other restaurants to come out and be proud of your identity rather than selling it under different identity. So these kind of causes may have helped me gain an MBE.
Yeah, you've got your own charity as well, isn't it?
Yes. So we've got Spice Village Uplift.
Yeah.
And then we also did 1 million meals campaign.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw someone online.
David Beckham.
Yes.
David Beckham.
Yes. So that was
talking
something.
about your 1 million meals charity.
Yes.
How did you feel about that then?
Incredible. I mean, every crisis has a gift. And I think the biggest gift we got during the COVID, which was the biggest crisis the mankind has faced in the recent history, was probably 1 million meals. And obviously, in very early days of setting this up, we managed to attract so many celebrities.
Yeah.
And David Beckham was one of them. And as soon as David Beckham, raised some noise about this, we never looked back. I mean, that was the moment the entire mainstream media
World's
got
best
involved.
footballer, talking about your charity.
Of course.
That's a big deal.
Of course.
Well, what was it like though? How did you feel when you first saw a footballing legend like David Beckham endorse your charity?
I was having some rough sleeps in the early first few days of setting this up because it was so much hard work. There's not many people around because literally all of our staff has gone on leave because there's no one coming out to even help. So when I went to sleep, next morning, I saw David Beckham sharing the news about 1 million meals on his story.
Yeah.
It was like a dream come true. And the feelings are so difficult to describe. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my ears. And next thing is I'm getting calls from BBC, The Telegraph, the Evening Standard.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was quoted on BBC News as well. So I think.
And even on the Sky News. You name the mainstream media, the news was on it. So it was so incredible that, something which started so small and all of a sudden you see going across national with the help of all these celebrities and especially David Beckham being the most popular footballer in the UK. When he speaks, everybody listens. And I think that greatly helped our campaign. And I'm so thankful. I mean, through your podcast, I would still like to, acknowledge his support and just say thank you to him for his kindness.
Today we're sitting in the famous Southall Broadway Spice Village. Can you tell us a story? How did you get Spice Village up and running?
Spice Village Southall is not our first restaurant. Obviously, the story connects from where I first came to the UK. I was only 18 years old when I came
18 years old?
Yes. When I came to the country with some big dreams, as you could see, a lot of us came to this country more of as an economic migrants.
Did you come on your own or was it like with your family?
My brother was here already, but I came to study. So first I found a job working in a restaurant in Brixton.
Was that Pakistani cuisine or what was it?
It was not a Pakistani cuisine. It was more of mixed Mediterranean and Jamaican food they were selling there.
Yeah.
Okay, like plantain, stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then obviously they had a little bit of Pakistani food. And so my first job was given to me as a dishwasher. And I had to wash all the pots and pans. And I still remember my first day at work because I was wearing a brand new white pair of trainers, which I didn't expect my job to be so messy. And I thought I'm going somewhere nice. And when I walked in, I was asked to clean a lot of pots and pans. And I remember it was my first day and I was more worried about my shoes than working hard. And, so I learned obviously how to wash the pots and pans. And that's where part of my job was to assist the chef. And that chef was very kind enough to teach me, a bit about the cooking. And that's where I learned and I kind of fell in love with the cooking and the smells and, the combination of different spices. And in 2 years' time, I was able to cook a biryani, some rice and some karai dishes on my own. And that really excited me, even though I was only 20 years old.
Yeah.
And, I started dreaming about opening up my own restaurant. So back in 2004, me and my brother managed to find a place in Tooting in South London, only a 15-seater takeaway restaurant. And obviously, in order to acquire that, we needed some money, and we didn't have those funds. So we went out to our friends and family, managed to raise some funds, and open up that restaurant. So
was that the first?
That was our first restaurant,
Okay, that's
yes.
first restaurant,
And that's where we started.
Okay.
So going back to your question about Southall, so we opened up this one in 2010.
Okay.
So that was our second branch at the time.
You've done well, mashallah. Like the decor's nice. You've got a wedding hall upstairs.
So you've got the big wedding hall as well as the Grand Sapphire.
Yes.
So was that after then?
Yeah, that came in 2016. We have been very fortunate in the business because I come across many entrepreneurs who have established initially into the food business, but then they have probably gone into different avenues of, making their business work, streams, developing. But we have been very fortunate in terms of, setting up the restaurants to getting into the events and catering business, then setting up our own hotel business, and then getting into the banqueting, which I was mentioning to you earlier, the Grand Sapphire Hotel in Croydon, which is the biggest in South London with a capacity
it looks
of...
amazing, by the way, the way the decor's set up.
So we accommodate up to 1,200 guests over there.
So how many businesses do you have in total at the moment?
We're pretty much covering all the hospitality wings in terms of being in the hotel business, restaurant business, catering and events, and a banqueting business. There's none business in the UK which covers all the hospitality wings.
So you've covered all the areas, basically.
Alhamdulillah.
I see on your Instagram recently you with Jason Statham. Was that I think it looked like a bit of a movie set? Was that out on a movie or?
Yeah. So my designer who stitches my suits is also the designer of Jason Statham.
Okay.
So not just Jason Statham, he stitches suits for some of the big celebrities like Will Smith, like Keanu Reeves, and a few others.
It's quite big then.
Yeah, he's quite big. So he's a common contact to all these big celebrities.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time I get an opportunity to meet these celebrities through him. And the picture you saw on the Instagram is... one day we were invited for a hunting shoot.
Hunting shoot.
Yes, in Wales. So we all went together.
So that was part of a movie, was it?
No, it wasn't part of the movie. It's just a normal hunting thing they wanted to plan. So we were invited for a hunting session with Jason Statham.
Jason Statham,
yeah. So and he had some of his other celebrity friends there.
Okay.
Likes of Matthew McConaughey. We had the biggest British film director, Guy Ritchie, along with Jason's girlfriend Josie. So it was an incredible kind of an experience, having this hunting session going on in the middle of all those celebs. So that was part of my common friend's efforts and his contact, because he has been stitching suits for all these big celebrities and all these big movies.
Yeah, was it David Beckham there as well, was it?
Yes, he was there as
David
well.
Beckham. So quite a lot of celebrities there.
Yes. It was a full-on stuff.
Yeah. What movie was it then? Was it shooting?
I think they were planning Gentleman. The Gentleman. Okay, something like that. Yes.
And you guys just done something on the side, we
were just hanging around and seeing how they're doing things, and just sharing the space with them.
Yeah, not bad.
But Jason is a lovely guy. He's a very down-to-earth guy, because he lives in London. So I had quite a few interactions with him in the past. In fact, I was invited to his recent movie, The Bookkeeper, which was released earlier this month.
So the Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper. Apologies, The Beekeeper.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen the trailers.
So I was invited to its premiere, where Jason Statham was there. So he's been a fantastic guy, a very humble guy.
So you are the Curry King, as they say. Who made that nickname of you?
The Curry King is a title which you earn from the biggest recognition platform called Asian Curry Awards, which happens annually. In fact, I've been awarded Curry King for two instances. One was obviously in 2019, and then in 2022 I was also awarded the Curry King of the Year. So this is the biggest title any foodpreneur can get once you are serving in the food and hospitality industry. So I was very fortunate to receive this, and then obviously earning some big contracts such as, we are one of the preferred caterers at the 10 Downing Street.
When was that?
Since 2023. We catered for the first ever Muslim iftar at the 10 Downing Street. We also cater at the St. James's Palace for an event hosted by the Transport Minister.
So you've got like major clients.
Yes. Yes. So this award was probably, coming from all sorts of services which we have been offering to our customers.
I've noticed you've won like a lot of awards. So you obviously your MBE. I think you've also nominated for Asia One Person of the Year.
Yes.
That was alongside Crown Prince of Saudi, Salman, Jeff Bezos. So big names. So how does that feel?
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the time you put hard work thinking whether it's going to be recognized or not. And I don't think anybody does it with those sort of intentions. Mm-hmm. It's a great feeling that, I know there are so many people out there who put hard work into their businesses, and I'm sure they're all successful within their own capacity. But in my case, I've been very fortunate to be recognized with all these awards and these nominations, such as an MBE. Our business got the Queen's Award for the voluntary services. I won the Asian Businessman of the Year Award, GG2 Spirit of the Community Award. There's so many awards. I have lost, the titles now. Recently, I won the Pride of Britain Award, which is another, incredible achievement. So I just feel I'm blessed, and I'm so thankful to Allah for giving us all these respect and all these achievements.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And you've done a speech at TEDx as well.
Yes, that's another incredible thing. Yeah. TEDx was pretty much a life-changing thing for me, because the kind of prep you have to go through to prepare yourself for a TEDx talk.
Was that in central London, was it?
Yeah, it was in central. And it's like, you have to talk for almost 18 minutes non-stop in front of a very intellectual audience. And you really can't go wrong on that. You can't have ifs and buts or you can't do all those things. So I was really stressed out. And I think, every time you go through tough times, it makes you a very strong person. And that's been truly said, because, I was very nervous leading up to the TEDx talk. But once I did it, it was like a very relieving feeling. And again, I've been very fortunate that I have been shortlisted for a TEDx talk in California, 2025, next year. And I'm just waiting whether they select me or not. So let's see how it goes.
What's that process like? So did you get invited or?
Yes, so you do get invited for a TEDx talk. Usually you get nominated by someone, and then you have to go through the process. But then once you do a TEDx talk at a local place, then that's when they start considering you for international talks, or the major leading event, which happens once a year in the US. And they select speakers from all around the world based on their previous speaking at the TEDx talks. So, and they only select, I believe, 15 to 20 speakers from all around the world. And from UK, I believe there are about 4 or 5 being shortlisted.
That's nice.
So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, inshallah it goes well.
Inshallah.
So you own Mirpur Royals as well, Pakistan cricket team.
Yes, growing up, I was always dreaming about playing cricket myself, because I migrated to UK, and pretty much in very young age I started working.
Who was your favourite player then in your era?
In my era, I would call Shahid Afridi. Was one of them. Inzamam ul-Haq.
What about Imran Khan?
Imran Khan was obviously, because he played pretty much when I was very young, so I didn't see him playing. Yeah. But obviously, as growing up in Pakistan, he was a legend. He was everyone's favourite.
Yeah, we actually saw Shahid Afridi, isn't it? Recently went to the event. I think
charity.
A charity dinner, yeah, I think so.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago.
I think a few weeks ago.
So we catered for it.
You guys catered
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it as well?
yeah.
Food
That was
was
in
amazing.
Reading, isn't it?
Yeah, in Reading,
Yeah, in the Walbrook House.
Walbrook House.
Yeah, so we partnered that event.
Okay.
So
So
my
your partnerships with Shoaib 3D as well?
Yes.
Shout
So,
out to 3D Foundation, I think it was a charity.
so we catered for that event. So the food which was served on that day was from Spice Village.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice food.
Yeah, thank you. So the Mirpur Royals, obviously, I because I couldn't play myself, so I started thinking how I could possibly give an opportunity to youth and young children in Pakistan who are missing out on our bigger opportunities.
Yeah.
So this opportunity came. The Kashmir Premier League was launched. We were the first to buy the Mirpur Royals.
So that
team.
is that different to the Pakistan Premier League? Is it
It was slightly different, yes.
different? Okay,
yes.
so it's different.
So it was. It took place in Muzaffarabad, Kashmir, and so we did 2 seasons, and that's when we realized it's full of lot of politics going on within the cricket. And I had Shoaib Malik as my captain, Inzamamul Haq, who was my favorite. I selected him as my coach. There were a few other players who were also playing in Pakistan team.
Yeah, so some big names on your team as
so
well.
we selected Shaheen Afridi,
Oh, really?
who was
Fastest bowler.
fastest bowler, but unfortunately he couldn't get an NOC from the PCB, and he still owes us money because we paid him a deposit, for him to join our team, and it was based on him getting the NOC from the PCB. So obviously, then we were talking to Babar Azam to join our team. Again, he couldn't get the.
big.
So
You're quite close with the Pakistani cricket players, though, aren't you?
yeah. So I managed to build good relationship with the
Relationships,
Pakistani cricketers, and so obviously when we realized there's a lot of politics, and as an owner of the team, you want to do things your way.
Yeah.
But then when you realize you're relying on others to make decisions on your behalf, and those things may not, bring results you're trying to achieve, then obviously as an entrepreneur, you always want things to go your way.
Yeah.
So I thought probably things are not going the way we thought. So we decided to quit and, sell the team.
So were you the sole owner then, or was there any other
I had another partner with me. on
co-partner?
that.
Okay. So your captain was Shoaib Malik, right? So he was the captain of the team.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you get network all these big players and get all these players onto your team?
So in Pakistan, there are agents who are working with all these big players, and it's not difficult. If you are trying to establish in the cricket fertility, then all you have to do is just spread the word out, and all these agents start approaching you. So for instance, I used to be quite vocal on social media before. Recently I've not been using it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, the moment I announced that I have bought a team, my inbox was full with the DMs from different agents
messages.
approaching me, from Shoaib Malik to Babar Azam, to Mohammad Rizwan, to Shaheen Afridi. So all these agents, international stars, start approaching you. And it's not difficult. All you have to do is negotiate and get the best deals sorted with them, and up you go. And you just get the best players, and how much you can spend, how much you can afford,
Definitely.
just brings you the best players in the world.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you this question. So when you first started your business, it's a risk, right? So it could either succeed or it could fail. Did you have any doubts, or did you have any backup plans?
So I always feel the best time to take risk is a time when you have nothing to lose. So at that time, I didn't have anything to lose. Obviously, we still had to borrow some money from friends and families, but it was still it's not like breaking the bank or anything, that if we, if this restaurant doesn't work, we will probably go broke or bankrupt or anything. So, that risk taking ability and those times for me was much easier. Now that we're, mashallah, very well established, we think 10 times before making, further decisions in our business. Now we look at the feasibilities and probabilities and all the financial stuff now. But at that time, I think it was more of a do or die situation.
Yeah. So what would your advice be to the people who want to get into entrepreneurship and are in that same situation, but they might have a few doubts? Or
I guess for me, I come across a lot of young entrepreneurs who want to make big and obviously want to grow. a lot of youngsters are going wrong where they're thinking small but planning big. So you got to plan opposite. You got to think big and start small.
Definitely.
And work your way up. I think everyone has a potential, and we all have to find our own destiny. I think it's the risk-taking appetite. A lot of the time, people are scared of taking the risk, especially the youngsters. So for my advice to the youngsters will be, don't waste your time. And learning a skill.
Yeah. So would you say networking is also important? Because obviously yourself, you've got quite a big range of networks. So you know, obviously Jason Statham, you've got people like David Beckham. I think I see on your Instagram, were you with Roy Hodgson? I think.
Yes. Yes.
So you've got like obviously quite a big network. So would you say that's important?
As they say, your net worth is your network.
Mm-hmm.
So I strongly feel networking, being part of the hospitality business, is kind of a part and parcel of this industry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really reach out to people to build these network or relationships. When you're in a restaurant or hospitality business, these contacts, these celebrities, all these big people come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the reward of working hard within this industry.
You said you featured on the BBC as well. What was that for?
Yes. So, I mean, I've been very fortunate to be interviewed quite a lot of times on BBC, on various different topics. Obviously, every time there's some hospitality news, they get in touch. And I've also been recently featured on a BBC World podcast. It's a business podcast, which gets downloaded by around 32 million people every week. So I believe I'm the only UK-based Pakistani who's been featured on that BBC podcast.
Yeah. So obviously you started from Pakistan. You came from Pakistan when you were 18 years old. So you came from humble beginnings. So how does it feel to start as, you said, was it dishwasher, to becoming a successful entrepreneur? What's that feeling like?
It feels incredible. The journey was full of challenges. I have faced rejections. My temperament has been tested throughout this journey. I feel I've gone through a lot of hardships, challenges. But at times, when you see yourself established as a successful entrepreneur, being interviewed on BBC and lots of podcasts and stuff, you feel, when as an entrepreneur, you never feel satisfied with your achievements because you're always thinking, what's next? But then, alhamdulillah, from the very beginnings, I've been very humble and a content person. I've never went after money. I've always felt if I could put passion into my product, the money will become a byproduct. And this is what exactly has been happening for us. And I think being a successful entrepreneur, looking back where I was washing the pots, I feel very fortunate, very blessed. I can see so many people out there who started as a dishwasher and not been able to get this far. So, again, I am thankful to Allah and my family for all the support.
So how important do you think religion plays a part in your life?
I think being a Muslim, you know your boundaries. If you look at it as a normal human being without a religion, I think what makes our religion so special, it tells you literally, it sets up kind of a circle around you to tell you these are your boundaries you have to work in. As a human being, as a mankind, you don't like no boundaries. And you can go so far. Sky's the limit. So I think how religion helps us is pretty much setting up those boundaries around you. These are your limitations. You got to stay within them. And every time you try to cross those boundaries, there's some inner force reminding you, you're doing something wrong, or you're probably going out of your limits. And I think in particularly in my business, alhamdulillah, we're a halal business. We don't serve any alcohol in the restaurant. We don't even allow any alcohol to come into our business. I mean, in the past, we've lost so much business based on us rejecting people trying to bring in alcohol into our events, into our restaurants, even into our hotel. But I've realized, over these years, alhamdulillah, without even serving alcohol, our business has done so well, in comparison to so many. Shows the strength of the religion, that if you believe in Allah, He can reward you from so many other ways that you don't even have to rely on wrong means.
Definitely. If you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Do you think if we could see the future, and if you or me, kind of find out in 20 years' time where we would be, and we would settle down for this. So if I look back 20 years, if I knew I would be here, I would immediately took it. I would have accepted it easily. And, the fun being an entrepreneur is always, thinking one step ahead, or what's next, what's behind the wall, what's there for you. So now that, we've come this far, I feel like, I was so fortunate to come this far, but now that I'm looking at, bigger opportunities, how we can possibly grow our business further, get into more avenues, So
you wouldn't change anything. If you could go back, you wouldn't change a thing.
Now that I've got so much, no, I won't.
You wouldn't, yeah.
No, I won't. I would be wrong to change.
Yeah.
I would be wrong to change. Of course, you make some mistakes.
Yeah.
You do make mistakes, and like I said, I have faced challenges, I've faced rejections, I have made lots of mistakes, but then you win and lose. You win and lose.
Definitely, 100%.
So from all the businesses, you've got Grand Sapphire, you've got Spice Village. What would you say? How much figures do you make?
So we earn in 7 digits annually.
Okay.
Across our business.
MashaAllah, that's good.
MashaAllah, that's quite big.
Alhamdulillah.
Is that net profit, or would that be sales?
Alhamdulillah.
Did you ever think that you'll get to the level where you'll be earning this much?
As an entrepreneur, yes, we feel fortunate to earn so much now, but at the same time, our eyes are set to the next goals, what we want to do next. And like I said, I have personally never been money focused or money driven individual who would like to see how much I'm earning. To be honest, I don't really know how much we earn exactly.
Okay.
When I'm saying 7 digits is just an estimated figure. But I've never been money driven. I've always seen and shown passion into the product, into the service.
Definitely.
And money has always been a byproduct for me. Alhamdulillah.
So how would you grow? So I'm saying, so you got Spice Village, you got all these other businesses. What's the next challenge for yourself?
So we are looking to set up our own meal production factory, where we want to provide food to the airlines, get into the supermarkets. Okay. Like I said, we have just set up our meat processing factory recently. So our aim is now to get into the food production, meals production, which will pretty much cover all the hospitality wings. I think there's a great scope in airline catering, where we want to supply halal food to the airlines.
Okay.
We know there's a potential in the supermarkets.
Is that all airlines, or are there specific airlines that you have in mind?
We are focusing currently on the Middle Eastern airlines, because they are the ones who are mainly focused towards halal catering.
Like Emirates, Qatar.
So the Emirates, Qatar, Etihad, these sort of Gulf, these sort of airlines we will be initially focusing on. And then obviously we're also looking to open up a few more restaurants. My nephew has recently graduated now, and he has joined the business. So now we got more hands on the business. It's a very challenging and pretty much hands-on business, where you need lots and lots of family members to support and join. So now we're also planning to open a few more restaurants in the next 2 years. We have plans to get into Middle East, especially Dubai and Qatar.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, so these are also currently plans being discussed on the table. We had people approaching us from Middle East, even from Saudi Arabia, for a franchise.
Saudi as well,
which is another great market currently.
Expand the brand and make it even more worldwide.
So, definitely.
So apart from expanding that and the catering to the airlines, is there anything else, any other future plans that you have?
We are also actively looking at acquiring more hotel sites, more of a bed and breakfast kind of hotels, not any 5-star or 4 stars, mainly because if you're a 4-star, 5-star hotel, you got to serve alcohol or you got to have a bar within the hotel. So we are also focusing towards expanding into the hotel business, maybe open a few more hotels.
Definitely. So before we wrap this podcast up, we just want to end it on our last question, our signature question. Does money buy happiness?
Partially, yes. Yes, I think money does help you buy happiness in terms of the things you want to buy, and especially for your family. Like I come across people who are giving lectures or lessons to others. I think all of those people are all successful people. Why don't you get people who are broke, who are not doing well, to come on a podcast or, come out and speak their opinion about how they see the life and how money can attract all those happiness or all those things they want to achieve. So I think money does help you buy happiness. But then when it comes to health, life,
Money
working
can't really
balance,
change that.
you can't really change it. There are certain things which are being kept by the nature to itself, and money cannot buy those things. But other than that, I think money can help you buy literally everything. It can help you break into the doors, barriers, and help you achieve pretty much whatever you're looking for.
Thank you, Brother Suleman, for joining us today on our podcast. We appreciate you joining us.
It's been a good conversation, and inshallah we can maybe do a part 2 soon, maybe in your Grand Sapphire banqueting.
That would be wonderful.
It'll be good location.
That
All
would
the
be
big
wonderful.
chandeliers and
Yes,
everything, the lighting.
No, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the best with the Cashflow Convos.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have been doing well. And,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Take care.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Guys, if you enjoyed that episode, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Take care, guys. Bye.